Mom, you have to handle Christmas dinner this year. 15 people from Mark's family are coming, and you know how you cook. Sarah's voice sounded so casual over the phone, like she was just asking me to grab milk from the store. I'm 72 years old, Eleanor Vance, and for 1 second the whole world stopped. 72 years of life, 45 years married, 30 years a widow, and now this. 15 people, Sarah? And why does everything always fall on me? I gripped the phone so hard my knuckles went white. From the other end came Sarah's impatient sigh, the kind a spoiled child gives when things don't go her way. Mom, you have nothing but free time. We work all day. Besides, Mark's house is too small for his whole family. Yours is perfect, big dining room, huge kitchen. And let's be real, nobody makes turkey like you do. I closed my eyes and leaned against the kitchen wall. The same wall where I cooked thousands of meals for little Sarah, where I waited up when she came home late from parties, where I cried silently after her father's funeral. It felt like my own daughter had forgotten who the mother was and who the daughter was. Sarah, honey, I'm not your maid. I'm your mother. Mom, please don't be dramatic. It's just one family dinner. You buy everything. I'll pay you back later. Mark already told his mom Brenda. She's bringing desserts. You only have to do the main course, sides, appetizers, and clean the house before and after. You know, the usual. The usual. A bitter laugh got stuck in my throat. Since when had it become usual for me to be the unpaid servant of my own family? And Mom, one more thing. Mark's family is picky. Nothing too spicy. Aunt Carol can't have gluten. Cousin Matthew is vegetarian. Grandma only eats meat well done. Oh, and red wine. But not expensive because it adds up. Every word hit me like a slap. This wasn't just about Christmas dinner. This was 30 years of tiny humiliations piling up into a storm. 15 demanding strangers. And cooking for them was supposed to be as easy as boiling water? And what will you be doing, Sarah, while I'm cooking for your husband's entire family? Mom, I'll help. I'll set the table, pour drinks. Mark will be busy with his family. You know how these gatherings are. Something broke inside my chest. Not my heart. My patience. My endless need to say yes. For 72 years I had been the woman who fixed everything, adapted to everything, smiled while the world fell apart. Sarah, let me ask you something. When was the last time Mark and his family invited me anywhere? When was the last time they treated me like the grandmother of their future children instead of the free help? Mom, don't start. They appreciate you. Mark is just shy. Shy. The same Mark who never hesitates to borrow money when his car breaks down? The same Mark who lets me pay for dinner every time the four of us go out? The same Mark who uses my house like a free hotel when his parents visit? Okay, Sarah, I understand perfectly. My voice turned ice-cold different. Sarah noticed because her tone instantly turned sweet and manipulative. So that's a yes, right, Mom? You'll do it. It'll be a beautiful Christmas. Everyone will say how amazing you are. I looked out my kitchen window at the garden I'd tended for decades, the roses I planted when Sarah was little, the rusty swing I pushed my granddaughter on before she moved away and barely called. My whole world had shrunk to being useful to others. Sarah, my love, I have news. Your husband and his relatives are welcome to come for Christmas. Perfect. Because I'm going on a trip. You can take care of everyone. I'm not a babysitter, and I'm definitely not an employee. Dead silence. I could almost hear Sarah's brain short-circuit, her face going pale at the thought of organizing dinner for 15 picky people herself. What? Mom, you can't be serious. A trip? Where? With who? Everything is already planned. Everything is planned by you, Sarah, without ever asking if I wanted any part of it. I hung up with shaking hands and stared at the phone like it was an alien object. For the first time in decades, I had said no. For the first time in my life, I had drawn a line. The feeling was terrifying and absolutely freeing. I walked to the living room where photos of my entire life watched from the shelves. Saara at 5 in her pink polka dot dress, my late husband Robert young and handsome in his uniform, Christmases when I still believed being a mother was enough to make me happy. When had I stopped being Eleanor, the woman with dreams, and turned into just Saara's mom? I remembered the day Robert died 30 years ago. Saara was 15. I swore she would never lack anything. I worked double shifts until my hands were rough and my back bent. I sold my wedding jewelry to pay for her college. I gave up falling in love again because she needed stability. I swallowed loneliness for 30 years because my daughter was the most important thing. When Saara married Mark 5 years ago, I thought I could finally live a little for myself. How wrong I was. 2 months after the wedding came the first favor. Mom, can you lend us $2,000 for the down payment on Mark's car? We'll pay you next month. Next month never came. But the favors kept coming. I opened the nightstand drawer and pulled out the notebook where I'd written down every family expense for years. The numbers hit me like a punch. Over $15,000 in 5 years. My pension, my savings, money I was supposed to keep for my own old age. Mark's birthday dinners, Saara's car repairs, Christmas gifts for people who never thanked me, plane tickets, rent when Mark was out of work. And never once did they ask if I was okay, if I had enough for my medicine, or to fix the leaking roof I'd ignored for 2 years. I sat on the edge of the bed and cried, not from sadness but from pure rage. Rage at Saara for taking me for granted, rage at Mark for treating me like free staff, and most of all rage at myself for allowing it. The phone rang again. Saara. Mom, please, you can't do this to me. I already told Mark you're cooking. He invited everyone. What am I supposed to do now? I don't even know how to cook for that many people. Learn, I said, calm in a way I didn't know I could be. Mom, this is ridiculous. Cancel that stupid trip. Where are you even going alone? At your age? At my age? As if 72 automatically made me helpless. Saara, I have enough money to travel. The same money I've been giving you for years. What are you talking about? We never asked for money. The lie was so obvious I felt sick. Saara, I have receipts. Every single dollar is written down. Silence. Then a tiny scared voice. Mom, that's different. We're family. Families help each other. You're right. When was the last time you helped me? More silence. She couldn't think of a single time. Tomorrow I'm going to the travel agency, and you're going to figure this out yourself. That night I couldn't sleep. At 3 a.m. I made chamomile tea, the same kind I used to make for Saara when she had nightmares. How ironic that now I was the one with nightmares, only mine had names. Ingratitude, emotional abuse, 30 wasted years. Memories I had buried came flooding back. Saara laughing when Mark insulted my cooking. The time I cut my hand so badly I needed stitches while preparing his birthday dinner. And Saara showed up 2 hours late from the salon saying, "It's just a few stitches." The engagement ring I sold to bail them out. The week I had the flu and Saara never visited but called the minute I felt better to ask me to water her plants because they were going on a romantic weekend. At 4 a.m. the phone rang again. Saara, hysterical. Mark is furious, his parents already bought tickets, you're ruining everything. Saara, it's 4 in the morning. The solution is simple. Have dinner at your house. But it's too small. Then rent a hall. That costs money. And my time, my house, and my labor are free, right? Silence. So heavy it carried 30 years of truth. Mom, I don't know what's wrong with you lately. You're being selfish. Selfish. The word every woman hears the moment she finally says no. I'm hanging up. Don't call again until you have a solution that doesn't involve me as your servant. I unplugged the phone. The silence that followed was the most beautiful sound I'd heard in years. The next morning I woke up feeling something strange in my chest. I thought it was anxiety, but then I realized, no, it was freedom. For the first time in 30 years, I didn't have to wonder what Saara needed from me today. I put on my favorite cream blouse, the one Saara always said made me look old. and went downtown. At the travel agency I told the girl, Emily, I wanted to go as far away as possible for Christmas, alone. She showed me pictures of beaches, mountains, cobblestone streets in Spain and Italy. With $5,000, the first money in years that was truly mine, she booked me a 3-week tour. Madrid, Barcelona, Rome, Florence. Departure December 20th, back January 10th. Exactly over Christmas. The irony almost made me laugh. When I walked out with the ticket in my hand, I felt like a different woman. My phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. Mom, Mark says if you don't cancel this ridiculous trip he'll tell his whole family you're selfish and ruined Christmas. I typed back. Tell Mark he can say whatever he wants. I'll be in Europe. Europe? Are you crazy? With what money? With my money, Sarah. The same money I've been spending on you for years. I turned the phone off and bought a beautiful wine-red suitcase. For 3 days I lived in glorious silence. No explanations, no guilt. I bought clothes I actually liked, guidebooks, scarves and bright colors. I planned museum visits, cafes, walks through streets I'd only seen in magazines while sitting in doctors' waiting rooms, thinking those dreams were for other people. On the 4th day I turned the phone back on. 47 missed calls. Dozens of messages ranging from anger to tears to emotional blackmail. I read them all with a calm that surprised me, then called my friend Beatrice, the only person who had ever told me the truth, even when it hurt. We met at our usual cafe. Bea took one look at me and said, "You look like yourself again." I told her everything. When I finished, I asked, "Am I being selfish?" Bea laughed like Christmas bells. "Eleanor, I've been waiting 30 years for you to ask yourself that question. You didn't.